Does hustling have a place in an aligned flow business? You probably know by now that I am not a fan of hustle culture, especially when it comes to creating a sustainable, feel-good business that you love. But is there ever a time where you should and might need to hustle in your business? Let's dive into this episode and find out. Hey there, I'm Shawn Mynar, and this is Unstuck Entrepreneur. I'm a former nutritionist who turned a struggling, stressful nutrition practice into a thriving, freedom-filled online business where I work from home in my sweatpants while reaching and helping thousands of people all at the same time. Now I'm obsessed with showing other heart-centered coaches, practitioners, and solopreneurs how to build a business and life they love. Consider this podcast your safe space to learn both the inner work and practical strategies required to build the impactful, profitable business of your dreams. No hustle, grind, or long hours required. That's right, hustle culture, not welcome here. Let's get into today's session. Hey there, friends. Welcome back to the Unstuck Entrepreneur podcast. I'm Shawn, your host on each and every episode. And as always, so grateful to have you here checking out the show. Today, I'm going to make this one a little short and sweet. It's a topic that I really didn't know I would ever talk about on the show, except that it's something that I'm currently kind of dealing with and thinking about, and just thought it was something that I should share with all of you too. And that is on the topic of hustling, and if it ever does have a place in these businesses that we're building that are really built on flow and alignment and inspiration and aligned action and all of those things we talk about here so much. But does this idea of hustling ever fit into that kind of business? And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Like I said, short episode. I've been outputting a lot. We just wrapped up the Copy Crash Course series here on the show. And so the last 4 episodes prior to this were just really content output heavy. I put a lot of time and energy into creating those episodes and really making sure that they were as robust as I possibly could make them while still being digestible for all of you. So spent a lot of time over the past few weeks doing that, and just a lot of other stuff we're going to talk about. And so here's a nice short, sweet episode that still is something that I want to share with you and talk about with you and make sure that you're thinking about in your business too. First, I got to start this episode. I already shared in the intro, but I'm going to say it again very loudly and very clearly that I very much disagree with hustle culture. And I think we all know what that refers to, but just in case, here's what it means to me, and I think to the general audience, is working these long hours and sacrificing your self-care and time with your family and all the other things going on in your life that are important to you in order to work harder, because those long hours are necessary to succeed, or so you've been told. And if you do sacrifice all those things and work these long hours and really grind it out and push harder and harder and harder, then all your dreams will come true. You'll have this amazing business. You'll be making millions of dollars. And, then you can go on and enjoy your life later. So toxic, right? A very toxic way of thinking about things, and not true. You do not have to sacrifice everything in your life and work these long, hard hours and sacrifice your own self-care and all of that stuff to have a business and life you love, which is kind of the main theme of what we do here and what I'm all about. And it's also not true that if you do work these long hours and do all of that stuff and subscribe to hustle culture, that you'll have success. So not true on so many levels, and very toxic, and not what we're about here. Now, I'm also not a fan of busy work, which I've talked about here on the show too. Working for the sake of working, being busy, or appearing to be busy for the sake of being busy without really any end goal or end in sight. nothing to show for it, nothing to come of it. It's just kind of like you're on this hamster wheel of doing stuff that never really has an end, and it doesn't even really have that big of a purpose. Doesn't really have a goal or any end to it. Not a fan of busy work. And that's also not what we are talking about here. Today, we are talking about just the idea of hustling in and of itself, and if and when it has a place in your business. Let me start by telling you that the last few weeks, I've been hustling. I have been basically working on two things at once: the Make Messaging Magic workshop, which the day that this comes out is also the same day as the workshop. And as of now, we are already almost full. It's still over a week away when I'm recording this. I'm super excited for the people that have joined. It's going to be so fun. And I've been prepping for that workshop and to make sure it's as value packed as I can possibly get it. And with all that also comes, writing the emails to invite everyone and putting up the sales page and putting up the thank you page and writing the thank you emails and writing the reminder emails. There's a lot that goes into even just having and hosting a workshop. So that, but then also, as I mentioned last week when we were talking about websites, I'm in the process of creating a new program, a website copy in a week, although I don't know what it's actually going to be called. I don't think that's the official name of it forever, but I'm about to beta test my new program about website copy. And I've been spending, let's say, probably at least 2 months working on that program and getting everything ready. And I still have some things to do to be ready for that beta launch. So I've been kind of juggling that because that's going to be happening on the back end of this workshop and also getting ready for the workshop. A lot going on behind the scenes. And I'm one of those people that when there's a lot going on behind the scenes, I kind of don't share it because I just forget. It's just not on my radar to show up on social media and be like, here's what I'm doing behind the scenes. So a lot of you don't even know that that's what I'm doing behind the scenes. But if ever I go quiet on social media, on my Instagram stories, that's why. Because there's a lot going on and I just forget. Just like my day is gone before I even remember that Instagram exists, which is not a bad place to be if you ask me. Anyway, I've been hustling because not only do I have all of these things going on, I also set a deadline to have all these things going on and to do all of these things that was a little tight. And I normally actually don't do that to myself, but with everything that I'm creating and doing right now, I am so freaking excited to get it out there and to show you guys this and to teach you this and everything that I'm doing to really apply it to your businesses. And because I have that energy and excitement to do it, I set a deadline that was a little quicker than I potentially normally would have. But it's like I'm bursting at the seams to show you this stuff. And so with that excitement and with that energy, I set a deadline that required some hustle. And I'm currently in that space of hustling. Now for me, hustling looks like working on the weekends, working at night when we're hanging on the couch, watching TV or something. I have a lot of things that I can do where it's kind of, I don't have to be entirely present, a lot of back end stuff and things that I can do while I'm kind of vaguely watching a show that I'm not super interested in and working on my computer also. What it doesn't mean for me is working instead of sleeping, instead of eating, instead of connecting with my family, instead of taking care of myself. That I will never do. I will never sacrifice any of that stuff, any of my own self-care or any of my own important things in my life that, to be honest, are more important than my business. My family is more important than my business. My health is more important than my business. And I hope you feel the same about your business and your health and your connections and whoever you have in your life that's important to you. So I'm still taking my dogs on hikes 3 times a week and getting in our nature time and my movement. I still make and eat dinner with my wife. I still meditate and journal and read before bed. I still go to bed at a normal hour. I still have time before bed where I'm not looking at my screen, all of that. But yes, I am working more. Yes, I am working longer hours. My energy around my work is definitely heightened. And if I think back to pretty much every time, and this is what kind of prompted me to talk about this on the show, every time I have had a major breakthrough in my business, or I put something out that I was really proud of, or I took a big step forward in my business, or I pivoted, or even when I first started my business, I was hustling. And if you just look at the word hustle, it actually has a totally different meaning, and one that can absolutely have a place in your business. And quite honestly, it might even be necessary at times in order for you to do your best work, to get your work out there, to gain momentum, to get the ball rolling, the things that we quite often need to do to move forward in our business and take the next step and get to the next level and do what we ultimately want to do. So when you just strip it down and look at just the word hustle, I looked it up on Google. It says an energetic activity, busy movement. There's lots of definitions of hustle. It's kind of amazing how many different variations of one word there could be. But when we're talking specifically about what we're talking about today, hustle is an energetic activity, like hustle and bustle. To me, that just sounds like something you're doing with some purpose, excitement, and fervor behind it, that at the time is increasing your energy and awareness and dedication to it. And like I said, if we're being totally honest here, you're going to need that sometimes. There are going to be seasons in your business where that is going to be a really helpful ingredient. And let me put a big emphasis on the word season, because no, I'm not talking about all the time. I'm not all of a sudden saying you should start working way too many hours and spending all your time staring at your computer. No, please don't do that to yourself. We all know that that's not healthy and what you should be doing, because that's not the kind of business you want to build. But the reality is, part of a flow business is taking aligned, inspired action. And when you're aligned and inspired, you better believe that you're going to have seasons in your business where you are so excited and so dedicated with this real purpose that you're putting out and that you have behind your actions. And how does that translate? Into heightened, energetic activity, aka a little bit of hustling. And if we're talking, especially when you're kind of just starting your business or launching a new paid offer or pivoting and doing something different, or, any really big moment that leads to growth, I feel like they're all going to require some level of hustling, because it's just heightened energetic activity. And you are excited, and you do have a purpose, and you are dedicated. And when you have the combination of those, you want to get it out into the world, and you probably even want to work a little harder on it. For me, this time spent on weekends working, I'm more than fine with that. I'm happy to be doing it. It's winter, it's cold, I'm kind of over it. I might as well be inside working on something that I'm excited about, that I'm passionate about, and is really invigorating for me. Like, this extra time spent working is energizing me. It's not depleting me. It's not making me feel like I have to grind it out or anything like that. And if we're looking at hustling as being heightened energetic activity, well, then that makes sense. It should leave you in this energetic state and this high vibe place where you're enjoying it and it's exciting and fun and invigorating to you. So all of this to say, I don't think hustling in and of itself should be a quote unquote bad word in this entrepreneur, solopreneur business world. And dare I say, it might have its place and even be necessary in your business at times. The question really to ask, I think, is what's your intention? What's the emotion behind it? Are you excited, aligned, inspired? Or are you grinding, working, busying yourself because someone out there told you you have to or you should? And if you did, then you'd be a millionaire by next week? Or are you grinding, working, busying yourself because you're afraid that if you don't, your business will fall apart or it will never grow, it will never become what you want it to be? That's very different, right? Very different from being excited, invigorated by something you're working on. You have this heightened energy to get it out into the world, to impact more lives and take a big step in your business. So not all hustling is bad hustling. And don't be afraid to get into a period of hustle in your business. Really, it should be a sign that you're on the brink of a major shift, a major breakthrough. And let that invigorate you and let it lead you. If you're moving into that season, if you feel like it's time to have this heightened energetic activity and work a little longer and work a little harder and have more purpose behind what you're doing, that's just a sign that something's on the other end. Something's coming. And that's really exciting. Just always keep in mind what's the intention and emotion behind it. If you do find yourself in this period of hustle, or you are afraid of getting into a period of hustle because you don't want to be a part of this hustle culture, which we're not doing just by having these seasons in our business, what's the intention and emotion behind it? Just stay clear on that and ride it. Ride with that flow. That is part of being in flow, is knowing that there will be times where your energy shifts and the amount of time you work shifts and your purpose shifts and it becomes more. And that's okay. It's temporary and it just might be necessary for you and your business and your growth and actually taking that next big step. All right, I will leave it at that. I just wanted to share kind of this season that I'm in right now and, thinking back on it and realizing, gosh, these seasons kind of happen on a regular basis every time there is a shift happening. And it's exciting and it feels good. And so not all hustling needs to be bad. There is still the good side of hustling. All right, my friends, until next time, take care. Hey friends, Shawn here. And if you're a coach or practitioner who's looking to help more people make more money and have more free time, then I have a special invitation for you that you don't want to miss. Right now, I'm hosting a free masterclass that will walk you through the process of adding a signature program to your business. As many of you know, the signature program business model has been my primary way of doing business since 2017. And after 7 programs of my own created and helping dozens of other wellness pros create theirs, I'm now sharing my exact process with you for free in this 1-hour masterclass. Now you might be thinking, Shawn, I'm just not ready to have my own program yet, or I don't have the time to build a program right now. Are you crazy? I totally get it. I get all of it, which is exactly why I created this training in the first place. I want you to see how possible this really is for you and how simple it can be when you have a tried and true proven system in place, no matter where you're at in your business today. So if you're like most coaches and practitioners who have a dream of creating a scalable offer in their business that helps the people they're meant to help without it being directly tied to your time and energy, then there's a seat with your name on it inside my Burnout Proof Your Business Masterclass. In just 1 hour, you're going to learn why adding a signature program will uncap your income potential forever and give you more time for your own life, health, family, and self-care. You'll learn exactly how my client sold out her first program, even with a small audience, because of this one super simple marketing hack that I am going to reveal. You'll learn the simplified, foolproof process that will take your knowledge and experience and turn it into your own program in just 6 weeks. And also how to implement an automated marketing system that will grow an engaged audience full of perfect match clients that can't wait to enroll in your program once it's ready, even if right now you're starting at 0. All you have to do is head to shawnmynar.com/burnoutproof and save your seat for this masterclass before it's gone. shawnmynar.com/burnoutproof. Can't wait to see you there.